Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass, eluding the pressure right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Herbert now. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. 21. They snap it to Herbert. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy. It's not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. We're scoreless after 1. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Up the middle with Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Hurts going to move him around. On 2nd and 11 now. Hurts. Man open left side is Brown. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A nice pickup at 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Saquon Barkley, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. It's a foot race. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Chargers. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge it. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. And they're going to be set up beautifully. A heck of a return down inside the 40-yard line.
But that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. Second and 9. They go play action with Hurts. Going across the middle, and Goddard's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He's got his first catch here before halftime. For a first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts on target to Dallas Goedert. And the Eagles have taken the lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp. And at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Out of the gun, Herbert. Now a deep one for Johnston. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now Hurts looking to change the play. And now they'll shift things around. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That puts him in excellent position, first and goal after a gain of 19.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about
he played with the Bengals.
as long as we're there
I think he got
at
one
the
through
catch and we
Smith
get
and
guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deion Henry. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. Well, Charles, he was looking for just a short throw, kept it in range for the rare linebacker pick six.
And give him full credit for his focus. He just kept the quarterback in his sights, and where he was looking to throw, he positioned himself perfectly to be there for the interception. He made the play of the game for his defense right there.
Extra point try now from Dicker. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've got a little under 40 seconds to go if they want to try to put something together here. This one complete down the field to Goddard. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
This will be caught by Brown. No gain on the play, and that'll bring up second down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Good, set. Hey, 73, 63. Carl up, Yeti. No touch.
Throwing is Hurts. Complete. Smith has it. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Good, set. No touch.
And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with first and goal.
Let's go. Go.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Elliott on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chuck. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like The final shot before the break for Herbert. Now a deep one for Johnston. On Herbert, his third interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down.
I gotta have 5, 10 yards.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 2 yards, good enough for first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
This short throw caught by Goddard. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. If you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. This one goes out wide for Barkley. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Caught that look from me there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Now Hurts going to shift him around a bit. From the 36, Hurts over the middle here to Brown. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 26. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Now they'll change things around before the snap. Hurts. It's caught. Smith. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time. Second down in the yard. They'll give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 45 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive is eating up a good portion of the fourth quarter already. I tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. C.J. Uzomah from 10 yards out. And the Eagles have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14.
That's what I was like.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Well, now how about this return? A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
So we know now we Deshaun not playing.
The Charger drive about to get going. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it?
It is pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. That's a nice move. Now he exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Hurts to throw. His throw incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
Now that's a big pickup right there. And so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking out play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second, third levels, you can see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively.
Hey, somebody give you a fake passport.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Now an option play on second down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 3rd and 12. Now Hurts changing up the play. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Connecting quickly with Gowdy. And that should do it. He's got a first down. And the Eagles, they can run it out from here. They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
And oh my
Alert.
goodness, here's a 5th interception. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Running left, it's Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And now an audible here into something else. Now it looks like he'll throw here. That one complete down the field to Smith. And he'll be touchdown in the end, but a big play on that one. Bird sets up to throw it.
Another one. Come on, man.
Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the 4th.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's the
shootout,
motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit. But for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us, we're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you go to the field and find out what the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, these young guys on offense, they've been putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching the second-half shutout.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.
Was stalling him out all of this time in order to